On behalf of the third grade team, I just want to say thank you very much for being willing to be a volunteer on this new field trip we're offering to the Princeton Battlefield and the woods behind the Institute for Advanced Studies. In this video, I just quickly want to show you what you and the students will be doing and offer some tips about how we can all stay safe and make this a really fun and enjoyable trip for everybody involved. Okay, so first things first, on the morning of November 2nd, if you as a parent could please be at the parking lot here on Princeton Battlefield right near the Thomas Clark House by 10 to 9. We'll be leaving school at 8:45 and we'll get there probably around 9, perhaps a little bit earlier if the traffic isn't too bad. And at that time you're going to join us and we will break up into our groups. And how this is going to work is each group will consist of at least 2 adults and 8 children. And what we're going to be doing is the students are going to be able to go on an experiential learning trip where they're going to be mapping out alternate routes for George Washington's army if they would have had to have retreated from the battle on Princeton Battlefield. And so what you'll be doing is you and another adult will be with 8 children. All the children will have backpacks with water and snacks and a clipboard and a pencil or two and some sheets on their clipboard. And what we're going to do after we talk all together, we're going to send you and your group off to 6 different starting points. So each group will start at a different starting point. And then at the appointed time, you'll be able to begin exploring all these trails back here. And the objective is for students to be able to kind of keep track, making a map of what trails they go on until they find the swinging bridge. This is like the idea of where George Washington's army could have retreated to, perhaps, if this bridge had existed at that time. And then from the bridge, find your way back to our starting point, which will be over here. So how is this going to work in reality? Well, to make this a little bit smoother, in advance what's going to happen is the third grade teachers, we are going to set up little signposts on lots of trees on the trails where you will be walking. The signposts will be laminated pieces of paper tied to trees like this. And how they'll be arranged is at any intersection there will definitely be one, and from any intersection you'll be able to see the next sign. These trails are quite well marked, so you might see a sign right down here and then you might not see the next sign until you get to this intersection, and from there you'll be able to see other signs with numbers. All the parents will be given a map that has the numbers of where all the signposts are so that you as the adults hopefully don't ever feel too lost or disoriented. But the children, you shouldn't show the children the maps that you have. Your job as the parents is to be the safety officers on this trip. So when you're walking through the woods, we would ask that there's always one parent at the head of the group and one parent at the back of the group. You can have your students arranged however you want in between that. We just ask that you are able to see the other parent and all the children at all times when you're walking through the woods. Now, how will you know when this experience is over? Well, we're gonna have an hour set aside for students to map and do this. So if after 40 minutes you haven't found the bridge, your group hasn't found the bridge, you can start telling the students that, okay, well, we need to start heading back now, and you can start guiding the students back to the starting point as they continue to make their maps. Just as safety precautions, we will be having Dr. Shaw along on the trip, and we will all exchange cell phone numbers before we begin this extravagant field trip, such that if there is anything that arises at any time, you'll be able to call one of the teachers and we'll be able to find you at your coordinates and help with whatever situation arises. Students will have gone to the bathroom before, but if someone really needs to go to the bathroom, you can call us and we'll walk them. There's a bathroom here by the Thomas Clark House, and then walk them back to you. All right, so what will the students be doing? The students, oops, wrong one, sorry. the students will have a blank sheet, and they'll kind of be keeping track of the numbers that they walk past and the directions that they're going in. At the numbers, they might draw distinct markers that they see, keep track of distinct things in nature that they see, so that when they get back with these 2 pages, they'll be able to put together a map that they could have given to someone in colonial times, perhaps, of how to navigate through the trails of these woods, to do something like this. Also, as an added bonus to keep the students engaged if they aren't that engaged with the map making, what will also be present is at special points along here you'll see a yellow laminated sheet that has questions, and this is where you as the parents as well you are asked not to help the student answer these questions, but for some of them you might need to use your phone to be a timer for them. Some of the questions they might see are, in 1 minute, name as many things as you can that colonists could make out of wood. So you as a parent would just have your phone going, tell them when a minute's up, then they got to stop, and then you'll march on to the next signpost trying to find either your way back or your way to the swinging bridge. Now, some of these questions students haven't really learned about yet, but we want to stretch their thinking. So if they seem stumped by one and can't really think of answers, that's okay. But we ask again that you as the parents, please don't feed them extra answers, just support them in understanding that's okay if they don't know something, but what, as a group, could they come up with some reasons or some answers that might answer the question. So that's what we're going to be doing, and I think it's going to be a great trip, and with your help it's going to be extra great, and I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. Before school starts, we'll try to have a meeting so we can just touch base and answer any last minute questions, but if you do have questions, please shoot them my way, and I'll be happy to answer them. All right, thanks so much.